So when I was a wee lad, I had a journey in mind. I would scour the depths of the internet and watch all the anime I possibly could on a website I was using. At first it went well. I got through the entire A category, meaning I had watched all the anime that started with the letter A at the time. However, I saw so many shitty anime on that journey, and there was a new show coming out every day that I couldn't take her anymore. One of these new anime that had come out in the A category was Amagi Brilliant Park, and by the name I wasn't very excited for it as it didn't sound like something I'd enjoy, but I am happy to say that it is every bit as good as it was back then. That being said, I am happy to announce that we are officially back on the grind for YouTube, especially for the summer, and we have a lot of plans ahead, so whether you enjoyed the video or our podcast, you better press that subscribe button. Anyways, Amagi Brilliant Park, which I'll refer to as Amagi from now on, is a very fresh idea, especially in today's anime market. You may or may not know it, but there's an overabundance of Isekai anime plaguing the web. If you've watched our previous videos, you'll know that we love the Isekai genre. But I'd be lying if I said they're all as good as, let's say, Overlord or Shield Hero. The main reason being, in my humble opinion, they either half-ass them from the beginning, or they give them a good first season but shit the bed when it comes to season 2. I'm pretty sure Shield Hero has a similar problem, but from a character standpoint. Also I heard, so don't quote me on that. And so I went back to watch Amagi again, since I thought it'd be a good watch and make a good review. So, let's get onto the story with Amagi Brilliant Park. Okay, so I might call it that again. God damn it. Our main protagonist is Seiya Kanye, a high school student who from the literal beginning of the first episode finds himself staring down the flintlock barrel of a girl called Isuzu Sento. For no apparent reason, she asks him to go to an amusement park with her and isn't taking no as an answer. Kanye reluctantly agrees, and this is where we find out that he is absolutely full of himself, to the degree where he checks himself out in a window without caring about the passing onlookers. I guess you could say that he has a god complex, and there's a reason to this we find out later on in the series. As they get on the bus, they pass by a stop with the same name as the park, which turns out to be a brothel. No, this isn't actually the park, it was originally a part of it but got sold off, and this as well as other things in the episode show how little the park is taken care of. Even when they do make it to the park, it's awfully dirty. There's not many people there and the employees look depressed. There's also the mascots of the park that roam around and try to entertain the guests, either in their selective buildings or just in the park. The main mascots that you see the most of are Moffle the mouse and Sweet Fairy, Tirami the magician, and Macron the musician. While they are mascots of the park, they don't always act like it, with each of them having some kind of quirky personality. All of these aside, Kanye explores Amagi with Sento and finds out how truly run down the place is. Even after seeing every possible amusement it has to offer, Kanye is not impressed at all, and it's only after he tries the croquette made by a girl called Latifa that he sees potential. Now bear with me here, cause this is where it gets wacky. Latifa along with Sento explain to Kanye that Amagi Brilliant Park isn't just a regular amusement park, it's actually a place originating from another world and the kingdom of Mapleland. The reason this park exists is because every kingdom from the other world needs animus, which are the feelings of fun and happiness of the people from the normal world. So they travel to our world to create a park and harness animus which they need to survive. This also means that the people of Amagi aren't normal people, but people from the kingdom of Mapleland, and Latifa is actually the princess of said kingdom. And also the mascots aren't actual mascots, their real appearance is literally what they look like. The reason he was being told all this is because they need someone to make Amagi popular as it used to be. Otherwise the park and its inhabitants wouldn't be able to go on without animus. Kanye, being the sane person that he is, doesn't believe them, so in order to prove it, Latifa gives Kanye some magic which allows him to read people's minds, which will help him when improving the park. After a lot of convincing, Kanye reluctantly agrees to help, and so the story goes on. This plot may or may not sound interesting to you, but I would say watch it nonetheless, as it's something very different to other anime. There's a lot of jokes, interesting and realistic reactions, and I think it's mainly an all-rounder anime. I know I kind of skipped the rating system that we usually do, but I'll just give them now. Story gets a 7, characters get an 8, action gets a 5, sound gets a 9, and animation gets an 8. Giving us a total of 37 out of 50. I know this might seem kinda low depending on how you look at it, but the action is where it brings it down as it's not really action based. I call this a very casual anime, but not in any sense that's boring. I just wish they went more in depth with the fancy aspect of it, and the final twist at the end, while being interesting, was also lacking in complexity in my opinion. Anyways, this is where I'll end it, because I don't want to make the video any longer than it is, and I think I've covered most of the points that I wanted. If you enjoyed, be sure to give us a like and press that subscribe button. We love seeing people's opinions on these shows, so maybe pop a comment down below on what you thought about Amagi Brilliant Park, and maybe give us an anime recommendation for what to review next. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next review. And now, Coffee's fuck-ups. Our main protagonist is Seiya Kanye, a high school student who, from the literal beginning of the first episode, finds himself staring down the flintlock barrel of a All of these aside, Kanye explores Amagi with Sento and finds out how truly run down. There's a lot of jokes, interesting and realistic. I don't know how to speak, man. Anyways, this is where I'll end it, because I don't want to make this any video. Come on, fam.